were a net exporter of energy, which I believe that began under President Obama. And it was because of fracking, which of course environmentalists don't like, but that's what got us there. Last year, we imported several 100,000 barrels of oil from Russia. Why is that?
We are actually still a net exporter of both oil and gas. We are blessed with abundant resources, including fossil fuel. The amount that we buy, if you will, it's not we, of course, it's on the private market, that the market buys from Russia is around 500,000 barrels. That goes to a couple of different refineries because the kind of oil that they sell is unique and they can't get it from what we produce in the United States. So that's the reason why that happens. It's just a tiny fraction of what the US consumes each day. I mean, we consume about 18 million barrels of oil every day, and that's about 500,000 or so. It fluctuates a little bit, but it's largely because of these refineries that are in Alaska and in Hawaii, where there are geographic reasons why that particular type of oil is used at those refineries.
When you say geographic reasons, because they're pipelines?
No. It's because they're closer to Russia. I mean, they're obviously far on the West Coast, Alaska, very close to Russia. Hawaii, obviously, it's a little more difficult. For Gulf Coast, for example, oil to come all the way around to it, so it's cheaper for them to use the Russian oil. But the question for us that's being discussed right now, right, is should we ban Russian oil? And while a ban for the United States might not have a huge impact on oil or gas prices, really, if the US did ban it, then other countries would feel like they should follow suit. And for many countries, unlike us, who we really do have an abundant supply of oil and gas, it would mean huge gas price increases. If they banned, it would then mean huge gas price increases for the United States too, because oil is traded on a global market and Russia exports over 5 million barrels per day of its gas. So if it's banned, we got to find that 5 million barrels somewhere else. We are at capacity right now as a nation. It would just mean that the price of your gas, and right now we know the price of gas is through the roof because of Vladimir Putin's war. It would be unsustainably high, unsustainable for people, unsustainable for our economy. So we're concerned about, we want to send a strong message to Russia, and we want to make sure that we protect our citizens as much as possible. Those are the things that the Biden administration's weighing.
But can you really cripple Russia's economy without stopping, without banning exports of Russian oil to other countries?
There's no doubt that Vladimir Putin's economy is largely a fossil economy, very much based upon their exports. But we have, and with our allies, engaged in the most crippling sanctions that we've ever issued, that any country has ever seen. I mean, you've seen their stock market has had to be closed because they have been crippled, their banking system, their oligarchs. It is brutal and it is punishing. So the question for us all is, and these are all issues that we are weighing every single day. The issue of do we want to see $4.50 a gallon gasoline? Would people be willing to sacrifice that? We're blessed, honestly, that we have not been asked to sacrifice our young people to go have boots on the ground in a war. And we have to balance these other issues as well. I mean, California, my friend paid $7 a gallon in Lake Tahoe for gas over the week, just yesterday. It's just that kind of, that energy is such a big part of inflation in the United States, and paying that much would cause the inflation numbers to go up. We don't want to, this is a tough issue about, do we cripple our economy, and as we take his economy down too, which we are taking his economy down. So those are the issues that are being grappled with and discussed Nothing is on the table, nothing is off the table, but it's not a super easy decision as some might suggest.
And your department is particularly critical at this time because the Russian economy is so fossil fuel dependent. Will a possible upside to this war, which is obviously a horrible thing for the world, not just the Ukraine, but will it push us faster and more furiously toward getting off of fossil fuel?
Oh, it certainly should. I mean, there's an immediate urgency war solution of trying to increase supply so that we don't hurt people at the pump, right? Because it's just a lesson of supply and demand. The more supply you have, the lower you pay. But the medium and long term, it is so clear that for our national security, for our energy security, for our economy, we have got to move away from our reliance on fossil fuels produced in countries that do not have our interests at heart. Europe is feeling this most acutely. They have a huge reliance on Russian gas, in particular, their natural gas. It is devastating for them. But you know what they've done? They have said, it really causes us to accelerate toward clean energy. They've been held hostage essentially by Russia because of their reliance on natural gas. They feel that, and Vladimir Putin has used gas as a weapon against them, have tried to hold them hostage over their reliance on natural gas, has tried to use natural gas as a way to divide the allies, divide us from Europe. That his actions have only served to unite us, but it certainly means that they and we have an agenda to accelerate dramatically our movement toward clean and our movement away from any supply from certainly Russia.